Hello, my name is Dr. Gail-Ann Graves, and when I'm not doing research or studying, I am watching CultureShare, the best in African, American, and African Caribbean music and entertainment.
Now listen to this. Doctor of Philosophy, Howard University. Master of Arts in Rhetoric and Public Address, Brooklyn College. And Bachelor of Arts in Public Communication, also at Brooklyn College. The achievements of Gail-Ann Graves from Trinidad and Tobago. Gail-Ann, let me say welcome to CultureShare.
Thank you.
Now, you have decided, with all of the academic qualifications that you have, you have decided to take on an astronomical task, that is documenting an analysis, an African-centered rhetorical analysis of selected calypsos of political commentary of Trinidad from 1988 to 1991. This you have completed in July.
Yes, I did.
Of this year.
Yes, 1992.
How did you decide to take on such a great task?
Well, I looked through the literature and I saw that not too much was written about calypso music. And I decided someone needed to go out there and document how calypso reinforces or expresses the idea of the people, and how also calypso impact on the political going-ons in the culture. So I decided what I needed to do was to go out there and document and to see how calypso music, political calypso music, reinforce the population beliefs, their attitudes about the political events that are going on in their culture. So I went and I investigated, and this is how I came up with this study.
If you were to ask the common man on the street to identify 10 political commentaries from 1988 to 1991, there is a strong possibility that he may stutter very much along the way, as opposed to if you ask him to identify some of the party calypsos from that period.
Right.
So then how did you get those calypsos together to analyze the lyrics and document?
Okay, the calypsos that I analyzed came from the Dimash Show, which is held the Sunday night prior to Carnival, the parade on the street. So I got most of the information. Every year I go down to Carnival and I look at what's going on at the Dimash Show. And a lot of political calypsos are sung at the Dimash Show. So I decided I'm going to take the calypsos that are sung at the Dimash Show because it's viewed by a lot of people in the culture. And the exposure is tremendous because it's broadcast nationally. So I decided I'm going to use those particular calypsos in my study because this way people will know about it and people will be able to identify with the things that I'm saying that happens in the calypso.
And you also want to teach the people about the evolution of the art form. I was just looking through some of the composition here. And I think that you're using this as a tool also to teach.
Yes, because I felt in order for people to understand what the political commentary calypso is, they needed to know a little bit more about the culture, about how the calypso evolved, how it came about. And from my study, I found out that calypso is linked with slavery. It was used by the slaves in order to seek their liberation, in order for them to get their emancipation, because they used the calypso in order to communicate with each other what's going on, and also to sing about the injustices that were perpetrated on them by the slave masters. And that's how calypso evolved in Trinidad. So I felt that in order for people to understand that this is an Afrocentric form, they needed to know how it came about.
You're also looking forward for the publication of your work.
Yes.
I know that is going to be a Herculean task, but I'm sure you have some perseverance and you would see to it that that is done. How about things coming on so far in that vein?
Well, so far what I'm trying to do is just to take little excerpts from the document, talk about the history, then probably talk about the evolution of the calypso from when it started during slavery to maybe now in the 90s, and then talk about the political part, how some of the elements, how calypso music, because it's Afrocentric, is different from the rhetoric of Europeans. There are more metaphors in calypsos, there are more proverbs in calypsos. You would find more things that are more indirect way of saying something. right? You might also find the pecan aspect, the poking fun, which is all used to help to reinforce what the culture feels, right? As opposed to the European rhetoric where you have more facts, statistics, excuse me. You have more information being used in that form, which comes from maybe an authority. But in the African sense, the authority are the elders, right? What the elders say, the proverbs, are the things that we look at and the things that we cherish. So those are the kind of things that the Calypsonians use in their calypso in order to reinforce their message, in order to persuade people maybe.
So in effect what you're saying, there isn't enough documented, researchable
True.
material?
On the calypso, yes.
Okay.
On the calypso of Trinidad, of Grenada, maybe of St. Lucia. The field is wide open, and people need to go out there and start doing studies dealing with calypso music and reggae music too.
Do you think that there need to be a change in the curriculum of the Caribbean educational system so as to involve more of the cultural aspect, indigenous cultural aspect of the region?
Yes, definitely, and I'm seeing it happening in Trinidad, because in Trinidad right now you find a lot of bands coming out from the schools, right? In the preschools they might put together a band for Kiddie Carnival, right? Then you might find the upper levels, they put together a band and the parents support it. They also might do the steel band. They teach the children the steel band. They go out there and form little bands. And this is one way of preserving the culture, of keeping it going.
If by, say, the next 4 or 5 years, more people at university level can write a thesis on calypso by using your work for research, you think your work would have not been in vain?
Yes, definitely, most definitely. Because I fell back on other people who did research on the calypso before. You had Leroy Lashley. He did the aspect of calypso being a form of communication. You also had Errol Hill, who did the whole thing about carnival and calypso music, the evolution. So there, the field is open, and other people can use my study and go on and talk about communication, about rhetoric, about the evolution of calypso.
Gail-Ann, can you sing calypso?
Well, I did a little, but I don't write calypso. I just one time
sing in the bathroom?
One time at Howard University we put together a little program in order to share our culture, and we did a little backup singing, and we did a little calypso, some of the old calypsos, the folk songs, and we sang a little bit of those. But as far as singing calypso, my career in that is very limited.
Who's your favorite calypsonian?
My favorite Croco.
Oh, you like Croco?
I like Croco.
Okay, I'm sure that Western will be quite happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay, Gail-Ann, Dr. Graves, if you please.
Thanks.
Let me say it's been a pleasure having you on CultureShare, and we'll be quite happy to have you back because, you know, we need some more of that in-depth analysis of the art form, because I think we are here to not only to project the performers, but also to teach the people about the art form itself.
Okay, the pleasure was mine, and I also want to thank CultureShare for bringing the culture to the people and for keeping our culture alive. Thank you very much, CultureShare. Thanks.
My name is Senator MacLeod Graves. I take a delight at looking at CultureShare. It is a show that is very good for the youth and for the elders, and it will help us to advance our culture. So please look at CultureShare. Thank you.